Welcome back, everybody, to episode 35 in our F1 Manager career mode, role-playing as Dario Franchitti, being the boss of Alpha Tauri, and we have Pierre Gasly's home Grand Prix up today, as we head off to Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix in 11 days from now. In 6 days we're going to be getting a new chassis, so we will have that to look forward to. Might give us the edge we need to get Pierre a hometown win. That'd be pretty freaking cool if we could get him the dub in France. So I will just skip time ahead and we'll see what pops up, eh? There you go, the chassis is now complete, so let's make a few of those. So we need to make 4 of those. So let's do that right now. Chassis. What do we got? We got 6 days. It takes 7. Yeah, so we are going to emergency through 4 of them. 1.5 mil. So both drivers have spares, and we're also going to make 6 of these. 43 days? We could rush it. That'll be ready in a month. That might work, actually. We'll do that. 30 days. Let's see how much time we have left here. That's manufacturing. I don't want manufacturing. I want design. What have we got? So how many more days we got left here? We have 44 days is the next period. Alright, let's have a look at what our current projects are. We've got 30 days on the chassis we're just building. We've got 43 days, a couple engineers on the underfloor, design for that. We've also got rear wing research going on for next year. Got some suspension being built, 9 days. So we got something that can take 43 days. I do wonder, how many research projects have we already done? Let's have a look. We've not done a chassis. We haven't done a front wing. We've done side pods. We've done an underfloor. So we've done side pods and an underfloor, is that all we've done? And we're currently doing a rear wing. So 16 days until the rear wing is done. How long does a front wing take? Front wing takes 44. No, sorry, front wing takes 50. If we could go all the way with our front wing development there and be ready for next year in terms of that. That might not be a bad shout. We've also got something in 16 days, which is what the rear wing is going to take. I don't think you can speed up that, right? So what do we currently got on the rear wing, by the way? How do I check that? I think that's in current projects, right? Rear wing, here we go. What do we got? We're using 1.5 hours and 20 wind tunnel hours. Okay. So I think what we're going to do, we are going to research the front wing because it takes so long, right? So we're going to use... We'll use the 1.5 or 1.6 maybe. Yeah, we'll use 1.6 and 20. Or 1.5 and 20. Actually, no, we'll go 18, I think, for the front wing. So that still gives us... one fluid dynamics hour and 13 wind tunnel hours to maybe build something. Maybe a suspension or something like that. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead with that. We're going to produce a new front wing. It's going to take 50 days. We can cut that down to 42 by using 3 engineers, so we'll do that. Let's go research a front wing for next year. We can't design anything else until something is done. Our tech chief has gotten in touch with us saying, hey, our chassis is done. Yes, it is. So let's see if this does anything for the car, eh? So let's see where we're at. We are ranked 12th in acceleration, 7th in top speed. So let's have a look. What are we doing here? So that's going to boost us a little bit. Our top speed and acceleration is going to go from 7th and 12th respectively up to 5th and 7th, and our low speed cornering is going to go up to 5th as well. So that could be pretty useful, so we're going to do that. So let's put the new chassis on both these boys. So there you go. Got a slightly better car for France. And I think that's all we're going to do. So unless something critical pops up, I'll catch you at Paul Ricard.
It's Grand Prix time here in Le Castellet. The very first horseless carriage race was organised in France in 1894. Since then, well, the carriages have only gotten faster. For the Grand Prix here, Paul Ricard boasts a fine collection of low, medium and high-speed corners. The seam curve is taken at breakneck speed, right before heavy braking at Beausset. This is an all-rounder test for cars and drivers alike. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder, what else is in store for the teams? Well, there's only one way to find out. There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
And probably no rain, unlike what we had at Austria the last time out. And we will see how the new chassis gets on. Red Bull and Ferrari still have better cars than us, according to the detailed car analysis. So I don't know if we'll be able to hang with those two, but hopefully, like we saw what happened with Max at Austria, we caught a bit of a break there with the penalty he had. So maybe Perez has a penalty, maybe Leclerc has a penalty, I don't know. We should be fine in terms of car parts. So I'll catch you at the end of FP3.
They should be green now.
Sounds like we've had a spin. Let's take a look at the replay. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one. And that spin is undoubtedly going to cost them time. Sounds like a spin. Let's take a closer look. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll. That looked like a very nasty spin. We've just had a spin. We can take a look now. Let's have another look. Science is the focus here. And there it is. That's where they spin out. Someone spun out. Here's the replay. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The car's just gone. Here we are, back for another day of Formula One action, where practice wraps up and qualifying unfolds. The teams will be looking to build on yesterday's momentum. Having seen how the cars and drivers are reacting to the circuit, they have a little more time to make some final changes. But by the end of the day, we'll know exactly how the drivers will be lining up on the grid for tomorrow's race. Here we go, folks. It's time to get started.
So that's the end of all 3 practice sessions, and there were no crashes. There were a few spins, but the only real incident of note that happened to us is that Riccardo locked his tires, and that was pretty much it. Every other incident with the spins were just a single car going around, so nothing really to report. Both Fernando and Yuki have penalties this weekend. I'm guessing they're taking extra engine parts, like what Verstappen did last time out. So they're going to be a bit further back. As you can see in practice 1, Pierre was right up there, but Daniel was not. That was because for some reason the pit stop thing wasn't working properly. So I would tell both our guys to pit well before halfway around the lap, and one of them will go in and then the other one stays out for some bizarre reason. So that's why Daniel was stuck down there at the end of practice 1, because he decided to stay out an extra lap, which meant that when I was changing his car setup, he didn't have enough time to do an out lap and then a flyer, whereas Pierre did manage to get his flyer in and improved by about a second. So I think we can probably lop off a second on Riccardo's there, so he would probably jump up to 8th, maybe 7th, if he was able to hook one together, but whatever. Practice 2, we were able to get out there, but we are using rather worn car parts, which we just changed for practice 3. Although the only thing we did change was the gearbox. We still have a pretty ordinary powertrain and ERS, so whatever. But as you can see, the Red Bulls have been pretty dominant so far. And there you go, Sergio popping the times for FP3. A couple tenths on his teammate, and he has 3 tenths on the field. So could be a bit of a tough one for us, but we'll have to see how qualifying goes. I'll catch you at the end of it. So very interesting qualifying there. As you can see, both Verstappen and Perez set the exact same time to the 1,000th of a second. Max gets pole because he did his lap time first. That was his first lap. Likewise with Sergio, nobody improved on their second lap time except us. At the time, Pierre was behind both Carlos and George in P6, and Riccardo was behind Alonso back in P8. And Pierre found about 3 tenths, and so did Daniel. So that's how they were able to jump up enough. Actually, no, I shouldn't say 3 tenths. They found about 2 tenths each. So Pierre just pipped Carlos, and Riccardo, with his best lap of the day, did the same to George by 1,000th of a second there. So we're going to be starting on rows 2 and 3. We get our qualifying bonus, which we said we would get for qualifying both guys in the top 8. And I think our streak is also qualifying both in the top 10 or something. So we should be all right for that. We'll get our streak going or continue that. And we also have the money that will be coming in from the every race or every race weekend thing that you get for the qualifying performance there. So pretty happy with that. The Red Bulls look absolutely untouchable this weekend, so that could be bad for us. We did save a set of mediums, so we've got 2 fresh sets for the race. We've also got a brand new set of softs that we did not use up in qualifying, and of course we have the hard compound tire. I'm thinking of starting on the medium and seeing how the race goes from there. But we are looking pretty good, 4th and 6th. I don't know if we'll be able to mix it with the Ferraris. It looks like we're pretty close to them on pace. We're definitely close with the Mercedes. So I'm hoping we can hang with the Ferraris and maybe pull away from the Mercedes, in which case then it's just going to be a case of who finishes 3rd, because I don't know if anyone's going to be able to touch the Red Bulls, but who knows? They may make a mistake with their strategy, in which case we're going to have to make sure that we are there to capitalize on it. So let's get into the race.
We have beautiful blue skies overhead as the drivers line up on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. Everything's been building to this. This is it. It's time for the French Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
Cheers, Crofty. I think Perez is on hards. So is Leclerc. So Perez and Leclerc are both on hards. We are going to have to try and get around both those guys.
Mercedes moved up a place.
George gets around Daniel. Pierre tries to get around Charles. I think he's managed it, actually. You know what? We're going to go back on neutral on the ERS. Going to see what we can do with just pure engine. Ricciardo trying to get around the outside of George Russell. We're also going to save a little bit of tyre, I think, right now.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah,
We need to get
that's it.
past the other Red Bull.
Back off.
Or do we? Do we just need to hang with the Red Bull? Maybe we just need to hang with the Red Bull. Ricciardo has gotten back around George. We went with about 4 laps extra fuel. So we're going to burn as much as we can to try and hang with the 2 Red Bulls. See if we can pull this train. And we have pulled more than 1.5 seconds away from Ocon. So it's the top 8, as expected. But we need to get around the Spaniard. And then use his DRS to leapfrog up to where Charles is. So hopefully he's not going to get him here, because here is a very tough place to pass. Oh, he's having a look around the outside maybe. He might get him actually. I think he has. Alright, we're going to use a bit of deployment here.
You can use energy.
Just to try
Okay.
to close up
That's a position gain
to Charles. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see.
Happy to push.
Of course, the problem with this is that the ERS is very OP around here, so I don't know if we're going to be able to leapfrog enough to catch them. We're going to try, but then we're going to have to try and conserve a bit, I think. But we are going to push the tires, we're going to push the engine, and hopefully Ricciardo's got enough pace in him to close that gap down. He's doing a pretty good job so far. It was 1.5 seconds at the start of the lap, and now it is just under. Alright, I'm going to go back now. We're at 0.9 of a second. Hopefully that's good enough.
Drop back a bit.
Yep, understood.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. And of course, us doing that has dragged Carlos, George, and Lewis along. Well, that's fine. I'm fine with that. So right now, our ERS is not a concern. We can probably push for maybe a lap and a half before it's dead. Just monitoring that gap for Riccardo. It's at pretty much a second. Keeps fluctuating. No, he's fallen off now. So we are going to go deploy a bit and aggressive just to try and catch him back up. George is 2.5 seconds behind now. Yellow flag for sector 2. Yeah.
That's a lockup. Let's take a look at the replay. Now just focus on the Haas. Oh, and there's the lockup. That's the last thing they'll have wanted. The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Yeah, not good for K-Mag there. Riccardo is trying to get back there, so I'm going to go back to neutral for him. He has gotten back in range, so we're fine for now. I don't think Carlos has got the pace to catch up to Charles, but I'll be pretty happy if we can kind of stay with him, because then that's one car we can cover. He closed up a tiny bit, eh? It was, what, 2.1? And now it's 1.7, so maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe Carlos can close that gap. Oh, Pierre, just out of range. Let's put a bit of deployment on him to make sure he can stay there. Oh, Riccardo has a look at Carlos there. Not really what I want him to do though. Go back to neutral. We can box both our guys on the same lap because we have the gap. The Red Bulls cannot, but the Red Bulls have different tyre strategies, so it doesn't really matter to them. But we're going to push, see what we can do. Yeah, I'm going to go back to standard with these tyres, I think, for both of them. We need to get to about lap 23. Verstappen's in. Okay, that is interesting. I have to make sure we tell him to go back to standard right about now. And about now for Riccardo. So in comes both of them.
Drop back a bit.
Understood.
So I think Gasly might come out just in front of Lando. And I'd say Riccardo will come out 2.5 seconds. That's a damn good stop. Gonna be close. Here comes Lando. And Pierre, I think he's just got him. He has. So Riccardo is 5 seconds behind Valtteri. And we are 4 behind Max. Okay, so we, I think, are going to push a little bit on this tyre right now.
Push a bit more.
Just a little bit. Just see what we can do. I'm going to try and save some deployment.
Push now.
Okay.
Because, of course, we were in a battle with Charles and Carlos. So we need to make sure that we can pull away from them. Yeah, this is costing us. Or costing Riccardo anyway. What lap times are they doing? So Riccardo did a 37.5, Sainz did a 30. Yeah, so the time that he's gained, he's just lost in those 2 laps. Alright, Danny Rick, you're going to have to go aggressive, buddy. Perez is in. And is Sainz. Okay, so this is critical here. So we're going to watch Carlos. Hits the medium. Away he goes. Pierre clears him comfortably. Yeah, I don't think Ricciardo's got anything here. Oh, he might actually. I take that back. There goes Danny Rick. I'm guessing Charles is probably going to pit this time, is he? He is. So let's see now. Perez is nearly in DRS range of Pierre already. In comes the Ferrari. There he goes. Sainz has only gained 2/10 on this lap. As I say that, there's another couple there. Alright, there goes Leclerc. And Ricciardo is 2.2 behind. Alright, that's fine. Okay, let's watch Ricciardo, I think, for now. Yeah, Ricciardo and Sainz have been going back and forth the last 3 laps. It's been crazy. Here comes another one. I think we're going to be alright on fuel. No, we didn't get him then. Okay. Well defended, Danny Rick. Leclerc has halved that gap. It was, what, 8 seconds? And now it's down to 4.7, but I don't know if he's got enough time to do anything about it. There is only 7 laps to go, so he basically needs, what, 8/10 a lap in order to get him? That's a tall ask, particularly this late on. But one more lap. Leclerc is in DRS range now. So, we are gonna have to tell him, probably to defend, but we're gonna push on the tyre.
Push 4.
Yeah, will do.
We're gonna tell Ricciardo to do the same. 1 lap left, so
Happy to push.
I don't mind doing that. ERS battery is empty. Ricciardo has a look up the inside. The ERS battery is empty.
Understood.
And now we're going to switch to defend for him as well. Looks like Perez is going to get the dub. Oh, Max spins.
Tauri gained a place.
Right at the death there.
It's a spin.
Leclerc doesn't manage to do it.
Perez has crossed the line first.
And Ricciardo might just hang on.
Let's check his flag.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
He does.
Order. When you stop, it will be P1. Wait 5 seconds and then P0.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Good job, boys.
second flag.
Hard fought race.
Well done, everyone. P5 confirmed. P5, well done. Get lots of pickup.
The Red Bull are coming on strong. Can't wait for that new under tray when it eventually comes in about a month. That's going to be huge for us.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. Never have a team been more deserving of a podium. Everyone must be ecstatic. The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here. But there we see the three drivers with the biggest haul of points. And of course, the silverware to boot. This was well deserved for AlphaTauri. A solid weekend of racing.
You can see that the team runs like a well-oiled machine. Everything was precise and on point this weekend.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
Next round, we're moving on to an exhilarating circuit. Formula One will be taking to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
So there you go, Sergio Perez gets the win there as Verstappen had a little oopsie on the last corner there, but it doesn't cost him anything. Finishes 4 seconds behind his teammate. Pierre finishes exactly 7 seconds behind Max to round out the podium. Leclerc P4, Ricciardo P5, just beating out Carlos Sainz, who finishes 6th and the last point scorer. Lewis beats his teammate in 7th and 8th, the two Mercs there. Alonso did really well to come from the back of the grid up to P9 for Alpine. Bottas rounds out the top 10. Lando started 11th and finished 11th, and that was pretty much his day in the McLaren there. They seem to have taken a bit of a step though, I will give them that. They had a pretty good day today. Ocon finishes P12 in the other Alpine. Vettel in the other Alfa Romeo P13. Magnussen leads his teammate Latifi for 14th and 15th there in the Haas. Yuki finishes 16th in the other McLaren. Albon beating his teammate Guan Yu in the two Aston Martins there. And Mick Schumacher beating his teammate Stroll in the Williams to finish 19th and 20th. No retirements. And just the two Astons and the two Williams got lapped. Drivers' Championship, it's getting close. Verstappen is starting to make a bit of a charge. He gained a couple points on us. The gap is 7. No, it's not. I can't count. The gap is 13. Perez, though, 1 point behind Max. So that's going to be interesting to see if Sergio... I think this is his 3rd straight win, isn't it? I wonder if he can... How long can he keep this streak going? Have to wait and see on that. Ricciardo... He's sort of just staying in front of Charles. Charles gained a point on him there. Sainz gained a point on Lewis, and that's it. Constructors wise, I think we got it. Yeah, 4 points. 4-point lead still, so everything to play for. But the Red Bulls look real good. Ferrari gained 4 points over Mercedes there, so I don't believe Mercedes can catch Ferrari. I don't think Ferrari's going to challenge. The fight is going to be between us and Red Bull. And based on the last few races, I think Red Bull are just going to steamroll us. However, we do have some hope in the form of that under tray that is coming in a month. So we might have it for Spa after the summer break, hopefully. And then we will see how things progress after that. So we gain nearly 2 million there. Not too bad. Pretty happy with that. Still gaining money, at least. Manufacturing of our suspension is done. Hungarian Grand Prix in 4 days. So let's have a look at our current projects. What do we got? We've got the underfloor will be done in 34 days. Front wing in 33. So let's see where that actually puts us. We do have a rear wing coming up in a week as well. So where's the calendar? Okay, so we are here. So let's have a look. July is done. So we got August. So that's the Hungarian Grand Prix. The board review is up then as well. And then we got nothing. If we're talking 33 days, I don't think it's... Yeah, we're not going to have it, are we? The underfloor is going to be ready after Belgium. So we will have it for Italy. Not Italy, sorry. The Dutch Grand Prix. We'll also have to see when is that one done. Rear wing is going to be finished here, so we've got a couple weeks to maybe make something. Probably it's going to be a side pod. That's probably about the only thing we can do in that time period. I see that Pierre's got a performance point, so let's see what we can put it. We were doing defending, weren't we? So let's crank up his defense a bit more, make him a bit better at it. That's probably going to be it for the French Grand Prix. Couldn't get Pierre his dub on home turf, unfortunately. We gave it our all. We finished, what, 10 seconds behind, roughly? It's not too bad. Not too bad. But I'm sure he'll be pretty happy with the podium. Still maintains his championship lead, which is important. And we are clinging on in the Constructors' Championship there. 4 points over our big brother. So tune in next time for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and we shall see if a completely different track layout means our car performs a bit better, or will we have a race like last year where we got caught behind George Russell at the end and just could not make use of those soft compound tires. Hopefully not. Hopefully we have a nice clean race. Hopefully the Red Bulls crash into each other and we get a 1-2 and just monster everybody. But I don't think that's going to happen somehow. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, you can hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you want to leave a comment, go right ahead. This is Mystic Tez signing off. See you later.